You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI Mo Kelly live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And oftentimes we do talk about Deion Sanders, who's presently the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. And Deion Sanders is a larger-than-life personality known mostly for his success on the football field as a football player and now as a coach in his second year with the University of Colorado. He is 7-2. He has clinched bowl eligibility for the first time, I don't know how many years, for the university. And long story short, has the chance of making the college football playoff and play for a national championship. Still a few weeks away, but he is in the hunt. He is in the running. To add to that, Deion Sanders has been very brash and braggadocious. He is now going to be starting a talk show, which is going to be on the Tubi streaming channel. It's going to debut next Tuesday, the 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it is called We Got Time Today. He's going to be co-hosting with television host Roxy Diaz, you may remember from, I think it was BET.
I'm pretty sure it was BET. One of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know where he has the time to do this.
Right.
First, let me say good evening, Jackie Ray.
Hello.
You are a University of Colorado alum.
Whoop, whoop.
So you have a personal interest in all things Colorado Buffaloes football.
Yes.
Where do you come out on this?
I don't want Deion. All signs right now, and if you are a alum like myself, let's just woo-saw this out together. But all signs right now says we need to really enjoy this year and this season and get all we can out of Deion. Because
why is that?
Because the tides are shifting and everything is coming up Deion right now. He's got an opportunity to, if he wants to, perhaps go to Dallas.
You mean the Cowboys?
The Dallas Cowboys. Yep. He's got that opportunity, this TV show. And he's prime time. He's in the prime of his post football life. And so he definitely wants to capitalize on everything. So I don't know. He might stick around for one more year, but I don't see him sticking around past that.
The other side of this is how much is too much? How much is a distraction and distracts from the football program? Does it help with recruiting? Absolutely. Does it help with the boosters? Absolutely. Raise the profile of the university and program? Absolutely. But it seems like there would be a law of diminishing returns where the more things that he does, which are non-football related, that eventually it will adversely affect the football program.
Well, it's going to adversely affect something. Either your show's going to be great and your coaching is not going to be so good, or your coaching's going to be great and the show's not going to be so good.
This is in season. It's not like, it's after the bowl season. He has some downtime.
Right. And the thing is the way that we consume shows right now, it's not like he can go in one weekend and get 10 shows knocked out. Like if he was doing like a lifestyle show or a relationship show, then you can do that. You just change clothes a couple of times and then just knock it out.
Most shows do that.
But it seems like from what I read about it, they're going to be talking about current event. And in this climate, that's what you want. You want people talking about current events, which means you got to go to the studio at least every week, which means when are you watching film? It's great for Tubi because, most of us who watch Tubi, we watch it to laugh at how horrid the movies are and the acting is just funny. It's comical.
It's not great production value, but Mark Ronner is a huge proponent
of Tubi.
Believe it or not.
Mark. Explain yourself.
I really liked you up until now.
We were such
Way
good
to make it
friends.
No, Tubi's magnificent. It's got such a deep bench of old movies that, like, let's say you lived in Seattle and you had Scarecrow Video, it'd be on a VHS cassette that they want a $300 deposit for. Tubi is a gold mine, and I will not hear your Tubi heresy.
Okay, here is the trailer for the new show, and then we can go from there.
Here's how Deion Sanders locks in for his new talk show, We Got Time Today.
All right, baby, this is your moment. You remember the blood, sweat, and the tears, the early morning workouts, and the late night preparation.
Is he gonna do a pep talk every week?
All the dreams, the times we came up short, it all prepared you for this. It's on.
You look at the success of someone like Shannon Sharpe, who's no longer an athlete, But the lines, the partitions, the boundaries are completely gone. You have sports celebrities talking about culture, cultural issues,
Right.
entertainment. They all intersect. The whole idea of shut up and dribble is laughable to me because none of our media has ever had any real partition. And now we have more landscape where people can do podcasts and streaming shows. And now that seems to be the natural progression of sports personalities. Am I wrong?
No, not at all. And I think sometimes people forget that when you're talking about sports, you're talking about entertainment. So these people have lives, thought processes outside of the game that they want to articulate. A lot of them went to school and really wanted to pursue those career fields if the sports didn't go. And, you know, broadcast journalism is kind of a default for a lot of athletes. So
It is.
I'm not surprised to see so many of them trying to get in that lane. And Dion's personality is one of those personalities that is going to translate very well. But because he's such a prominent figure and because he's so influential, I am going to say this. I am going to hope that if you're talking about entertainment, lifestyle, all that good stuff, just be your authentic self. But if you're really going to dive into social issues and political issues, I need him to, and this is where my concern comes in, I need him to do the research. I need him to know exactly what he's talking about. I need him to be somewhat of an authority on those topics. And I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you invest that kind of time when you got a million other irons in the fire.
A million other irons and 999,999 far more important than this streaming TV show, which means, yeah, I would like him. I'm not going to say, Dion, stay in your lane, but make sure you signal. Make sure you're looking over your shoulder. Make sure you observe the rules of the road. Don't carry this metaphor all the way through.
Yeah.
So you're a safe driver. You don't end up in a ditch because you didn't do your homework. You didn't do your due diligence. And this is the thing that just my own little pet peeve. Everyone can have a show now because there's enough real estate for everyone to have a show. Everyone has a microphone. Everyone has something to say. But just because you have something to say doesn't mean that it's good idea for you to say something about everything.
Right. And I think sometimes people get a little confused. They think that, oh, when you get to a certain financial status and you've got backing from a network like Tubi, there's people out there that are doing that research for you. That's true to a certain extent, but I don't care how much research you do for me. If I am not well versed in that topic, I cannot deliver that information to you in a way that makes sense. I have to be educated on the topic for myself. So it's going to be interesting to see the promo had a rabbit in it. What's the rabbit for?
Who knows?
So that's one of those things where I was like, this has got to be just fun. I know they said they're going to touch on everything, but I'm thinking maybe they won't. And maybe this will just be one of those shows where he comes in all suited and booted. They talk trash and then the credits roll.
We'll find out. And of course, we will have to circle back to this. When we come back, we're going to drill down on sports and money, especially college sports. If you had any idea how much money was being paid to athletes now in this NIL era, you probably underestimated. We have some real numbers to share with you. And also, schools are getting fined for fan behavior during games to the tune of 6 figures. We'll tell you about that next as well. It's Beyond the Box Score with Jackie Ray on Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI Mo Kelly. We're going beyond the box score. Jackie Ray, do you have any idea, or at least prior to seeing this story, how much universities were allotting to spend on their athletic programs?
Now, what I thought before learning about this, I thought they were probably allotting like 1.5 million.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like low single digits.
Yeah.
You'd have your top superstar, All-American college athletes for big time programs, like a Caleb Williams at USC last year. And that person would probably make around, let's say 2.5 million.
Right.
That's it. But everyone else, minimal amounts.
Yeah.
Because they weren't valuable on that level. Come to find out that the projected, I'll call it salary cap. It's not a salary, but NIL cap is going to be $20.5 million per school.
That's insane.
Per school. And if you are a basketball school, most of that will go to the basketball program. I suspect that more of that money will go to the Duke basketball team than the Duke football team, even though revenue-wise, Duke probably brings in more money from football just because the nature of the sport.
Mm-hmm.
But Duke basketball is how they lure those top players every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterbacks could be making anywhere from $2 to $3 million per year at top football schools. And yet they are still considered somehow amateur athletes? ? This is now big corporate business. I understood the argument, like you'll have a school in what used to be the Pac-12 get $13 million for this program as part of their bowl bid, going to maybe the Holiday Bowl. Now it has changed, and the athletes weren't getting anything monetarily, not above board.
Right.
You know, the whole USC scandal with Reggie Bush. The parents were getting, quote unquote, impermissible benefits. Now, you might as well just call it minor league NFL.
Might as well. And first of all, the NFL has always used college as their G League. They've always done that.
Their feeder league.
Their feeder league. So like the NBA has the G League, they feed from that. The NFL has always fed from the college athletes. I have a plethora of problems with, which is so crazy for people who have followed me for any length of time. I have been such a proponent for these athletes being paid because that's what draws us in. We have these favorite athletes that benefits college because we follow these athletes to the teams that they go to. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship. But now I've been watching the NFL for so long that there is a plethora of stories about people that reach the end of their NFL career and they're broke. And not only are they're broke, but their bodies are broken and they don't have everything they need to really have a high quality of life.
Long-term health care.
They don't have that. And so for me, it's like, okay, yeah, this money is great, but I know for a fact there's no one giving these people financial education to know how to keep this money now. And let me tell you, I had a stretch of my life in college where I was making gobs of money. I don't have a dime of that money right now.
In my early days of the music industry, so was I.
I don't have a dime of that money. And I just think, especially when you're talking about the NFL, and we know that this isn't something that we think that you might get to the end of. If you have a successful NFL career, by the time you retire, your body is ready to retire too. It is broken and you need to be prepared for that. So while this money is great, first of all, it's going to make it difficult for schools that don't have as much money to be competitive. That's first and foremost. Second of all, I'm very fascinated to see how this affects the fan base, because when you're talking about old school fans, alumni, fundraisers, those clubs and things of that nature, these are fans that are used to seeing the players stay at one school for the duration of
four whole
years. Not only that, when they have children, they want them to send their children to that school. This is generation upon generation. And now we're seeing, for the athletes that are out of school and they're not being utilized, they have talents and they end up being redshirt or whatever. I'm all for them, absolutely changing schools. You have to do what's best for you. But I'm just wondering, what's the long-term impact going to be on these athletes that are making so much money so young? And is that going to really benefit them long-term?
Here's my problem with it. I don't mind paying the players. I do mind the freedom of movement where they can just go from school to school to school,
right,
without having to sit out. And they're basically, my word, prostituting themselves out to the highest bidder. Who will pay me the most? That's where I'll go to school. It's disruptive to the team, the program, and the sport. And I don't think you can't even do that in professional sports.
That's what I'm saying. You have a contract.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you might get traded. You can request a trade. There's no guarantee that you're going to get that trade. And then you just have to write out your contract.
Imagine if LeBron James or any NBA All-Star said, okay, I'm just going to go whoever's going to pay me the most in a given year. And he could change teams every single year.
The NBA would be terrible. And no one, because the fan loyalty. Now I'm one of those people. There's a lot of fan loyalty around specific players, which is great, but there's a lot of fandom around teams as well. But then there's no respect for the game when people are just like, I'm just here for the money. There's just no respect, and it'll just dismantle the league. It won't be fun. You need that chemistry. That's part of having a good team. You have to play together. You have to practice together. You have to go to pizza parties together to build that chemistry.
Strip clubs together. Whatever.
Them lemon pepper wings. Do what you need to do. But if you don't know.
Some of the best wings you'll ever get is at the strip club. Don't ask me why, but it's a true story.
The best ones you ever get, But that's part of building the chemistry that's necessary for the team to trust each other and go out there and really be a winning organization. And if you just bounce it around for the money, you can't build that chemistry. And at this age, if that's all you're doing now, I just wonder how that's going to impact your professionalism later on.
Before I let you go, one other aspect of college fandom has to do with this increasing examples of fans getting out of control, something we talked about a lot. Now we're having conferences fining universities. So, for example, the SEC, the Southeastern Conference, has fined Ole Miss $350,000 and LSU $250,000 for fan incidents, plural, including this one.
We see it popping up in college football. Enough's enough, clowns. Just, what are you doing?
Agreed. It's not the first bottle ever been thrown in the field here. I can promise you, as a sideline guy, we're Canadians.
This is just stupid.
Yeah. These were water bottles. Back in the day, they were other kind of bottles. But yeah, now it's a copycat situation.
Yeah. It's great. That's your home cheerleader.
And guess what? They're not going to review that and take the face mask off the board.
Just embarrassing to LSU. It's embarrassing to college football, and just around the country. Just enough's enough. Man.
Now they fined Texas, big six-figure fine after this. Same thing maybe in store at LSU.
It's getting worse, believe it or not. And if you've never been hit in the face with a plastic water bottle, let me just say you don't want to experience it. Mm-hmm. Where does it go from here? Because I don't know if the fan behavior is going to get any better, because the fans are not being fined. The universities are being fined.
So, and I have said this for years, and sometimes you just really like when you're right. But I've always said that when you purchase a ticket, there should be some sort of identifier to that ticket. So then now we can see in proximity, cameras are everywhere all through the stadium.
Right.
But when you walk out of that stadium, people like, I forget what incident happened with the Lakers, but that gentleman got a lifetime ban, which I found hilarious. How can you possibly enforce that? If I have season tickets, you can revoke my season tickets. Absolutely. But there is nothing in place that can really ban me.
Well, I say there's facial recognition technology, which is being used that is not being publicized.
You think so?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In these arenas in a post 9/11 world, absolutely.
Okay, but then let me go one step further, because if that's the case, now you're counting on that $18 an hour employee to enforce that.
No different than TSA.
Does TSA make only $18 an hour?
They don't make a lot of money, okay? I got to get out of here, Jackie Ray, but I always love doing this with you.
Yes.
As we talk about the intersection of society and sports. Let's make sure we do it again next week.
Let's do it.
And good luck to your Buffaloes.
Yes, please. Go Buffaloes.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And you know I love cruises, and I think I can add Tuala Sharp to that list now as well. I don't know about Mark Ronner. It's going to take a little bit more effort to get him on board. No pun intended.
It's going to take more effort than you got.
Well, what if I told you, for the people who love cruises, that there is a cruise ship which is going to set sail for 4 years. 4 years, and it's going to hit 140 countries, and it's specifically as a result of the presidential election in U.S. politics. Let's say you're not happy with the outcome or just want to escape all the tension in the U.S. Well, this might be for you. The 4-year-long trip has been launched by Via Vi Residences, a residential cruise line, which takes vacations to the next level. Instead of just squeezing in a few islands in the week, you will be able to see 140 countries across 4 years. It's titled the Skip Forward Package. The trip lasts 4 years, promises 140 countries around the world's 7 continents. And they're being explicit with its connection to U.S. politics. They have the midterm selection package, which runs for 2 years, in line with the midterm and general elections. And if you're wondering how much it's going to cost, here you go. A single occupancy room starts at $255,000, while a double occupancy room will set you back $320,000. If you just want to escape for the first 2 years, maybe come back in 2027, you can see your way to that for $150,000. And a single occupancy room, if you want to be by yourself, $150,000 for the single occupancy room and $188,000 for the double. The cruise also offers 1-year trips starting at $80,000, and 3-year trips starting at $208,000. It's not cheap at all.
I am Shireen Thomas, and I now live full-time on the Villa V Odyssey.
Hey guys, welcome.
I'm Rena, and welcome to my humble abode.
Welcome to our humble abode. Well, not so humble.
Hello, welcome to our cabin. It was a no-brainer for us. You know, it was actually cheaper for us to live here on the ship where we're getting, we got our food taken care of. You know, we get our laundry. It's just a whole different lifestyle.
This is seeing the world, which is what I want to do, and cruising, which I love doing, because cruising you don't have to do anything.
When this came along, it just seems perfect. We're very happy.
All the wait staff here are amazing. We're making friends with them. They provide great service. It's really been an amazing experience.
We're actually not looking at this as a cruise. We're looking at this as our home. And it feels like home already.
It is hard to narrow down the friends that we most enjoy. It seems like everybody on the ship are brand new friends.
We have to pinch ourselves to say, is this a dream? Because there's nothing like this. If you're retired and you love to travel and you love being social with other people, from a financial perspective, this is a no-brainer. I would do it. The sooner the better, because this concept is going to catch on big.
For people who are thinking about doing this and just can't quite jump and make that decision, I would just say do it. We did it relatively quickly, but we love the decision that we made, and we think it's the right one for us.
I got to be honest. If I were retired, it would be something I absolutely would consider. If I were retired, it doesn't fit my life now. You know, I can't go for a year somewhere, 2 years or 4 years or something. But if I were retired, yeah, I'd get on a ship and go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at right now, average rent in California is around $2,500. That's on a really average to low end. That's about $120,000 across 4 years. Then you add in eating every day, you add in entertainment, you add in gas and all those other amenities. Just living here in California, you are looking at close to about $260,000, $270,000 across 4 years.
Right.
That is your stay on this ship for 4 years. I'm like, but okay.
You don't have to clean nothing.
Clean nothing.
You don't have to cook nothing. You don't have to, look, most of your amenities are paid for, probably figured into the package.
Yes.
It's a relaxing lifestyle. It really is. Now, I would miss the ability to just say hello to friends whenever I would want.
But they have this tour package where a friend can join you at any given stop for like $129 a day and just hang out with you.
Right. If you want to fly into, I don't know, Barcelona, and meet us there. Yeah. Why not?
Why not hang out on the ship? Maybe travel with us to the next destination. But seeing all of these destination spots, and there's food and there's entertainment. You don't have to really leave the ship.
No.
The ship is a city unto itself with a live-in community where you'll be making friends with everyone. These are your neighbors for 4 years.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm on this.
I would like to see the world. I would like to see 140 different countries. I don't see how else I would do it in the normal course of living.
Yeah.
And cruises are not for everyone. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, no, you have to do it. It has to fit what you want. But what I love most about cruises was I got to sample different locations. I didn't just fly into one area and just stay there and fumble my way around trying to find out what else is around. I got to sample different places in Europe. I got to sample different places, obviously, in the Caribbean. And then I can say, well, I definitely want to come back and see this. No, I don't want to go back to Aruba, for example. I have no desire to go back to Aruba.
And when this ship goes there, you can stay on
the ship.
and this ship, from my understanding, from reading into it, it's not just day-long stops at these different island or travel destinations. There are some which are multiple days because they've got the time. So this is actually for anyone who's looking to cruise, even if you're just on, say, the 2-year package. This is not a bad look.
I would like to do 1 year. I could see doing a solid year. if I had like a sponsor or something like that and broadcast from the ship, yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, I'd be on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, is there any way we can get you on a ship?
If I'm on the run from the law.
Well, that's probably not the best place to be. If you're on the run from the law, if you're on a ship, you're just kind of like a captain.
They can find you.
They know where you're going to be the next port.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there goes that plan. So.
To be very serious, that's the whole point. They have to take an accounting of you every time you come on the ship, every time you go off the ship. It's facial recognition technology. So they know that you're not changing places with someone else. All of that. That's why I was being very serious with Jackie Ray as far as facial recognition technology. I'm quite sure it's at every major port, place of entry, stadium, arena. Yeah, they want to know who is coming in.
It used to be a lot easier just to disappear like Dexter in the old days.
Those days are gone.
Just find a new identity and start another mass murdering spree, I guess.
Look, you can't even park your car in LA without some bus taking a picture of you. You have to think that whenever you're walking down the street, there are cameras trained on you at every moment of the day.
Well, what's not to love about living in a total surveillance police state?
It's one of those things where you have to be aware of it. And if you're going to stay in this country, you have to accept it. Now, it pales in comparison to what was going on in South Korea when I was there. It was everywhere. I mean, every single corner. You had police cars with the cameras, the 360-degree cameras, just sitting on top of the car, just monitoring everyone. And there was no one in the police car. They were just using it as a mobile surveillance unit.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about East Germany. You know,
you're telling on your age because people don't even remember the difference between East and West Germany.
Age is no excuse for ignorance. Come on now.
Oh, come on. This is America we're living in.
Okay, you're right.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
All right, Scorpios, it's your time. KFI Mo Kelly. Aries, you could succeed politically this week if you are born between March 21st and April 19th. You might make friends with government employees. You will be compensated by the government to work for the benefit of others while also benefiting yourself. This week, everything will come together and you'll feel fantastic overall. Taurus, for you, Taurus, this week will be a mixed bag. You must restrain your rage. Your actions and demeanor will demonstrate your level of maturity. As a married couple, you're going to have a lot of success. You can draw attention to yourself by carefully choosing your words. However, a few minor health issues might occur. Gemini, Mark Ronner.
Let's have it.
Geminis are going to have a very fortunate week.
I'll take it.
In addition to being able to connect with significant others who may be able to assist you in the future, you will receive positive news everywhere you look. Success in business will make you happy, but increasing work demands may make you lose your cool.
Stay cool, man.
And I know you're working on some stuff.
Stay cool.
Yeah.
There's some truth in that.
There's all sorts of conflicting information in this. I'm not sure how to proceed.
Cautiously.
Yeah, true.
Cancer. Here we go, Stefan.
Let's do it.
You're going to have a great week. Your staff will be helpful and your health will remain good. You can make a lot of money in business if you're lucky. You'll feel at ease throughout the week and develop a greater interest in spiritual matters. Leo, you Leo folk are going to be everywhere this week. You'll be able to establish positive relationships with influential people, even if you're unable to generate income. Your relationship with your family will be ideal if you make a few personal changes. Virgo, you're going to have a great week as well. You'll be blessed with good health and plenty of money. Plenty. Your love life will be fantastic and you'll receive wonderful news. If you're single, your chances of getting married might get better this week. At work, you'll gain more respect from others and be able to outperform your rivals. Libra, this week might bring both highs and lows. If a family member's health begins to deteriorate, stress levels may increase, but the work will be worthwhile, and you'll build solid bonds with your colleagues. You'll have a better reputation and a fantastic week by the end of the weekend. And coming up next is Scorpio.
Yeah, man.
To all of this is your month. You and your loved ones will accomplish all of your goals this week. You might need money, so you might want to think about taking out a loan. That's not good news. There may be variations in married life. You going to get married, Twala?
No, but I mean, I can see what they're hinting at.
Okay. This week, there will be some exciting news. At work, people will admire you.
I feel admired.
Okay. Sagittarius, that's me. Some Sagittarius people might choose to donate their money to charitable and religious causes this week. Your coworkers and friends will try their hardest to assist you. You'll be able to simplify every task a bit. You can find happiness and support from family and friends throughout the week.
Nice.
Capricorn, this week will be favorable for Capricorns in terms of court cases and legal disputes. There will be advancements in every area. You must have patience and courage to deal with difficult situations. Working together with your teammates is essential to success. Aquarians, the public sector will advance. There will be business travel. Take part in religious pursuits. You will spend more money on your children's education. Child happiness and marital bliss will remain flawless. This is an overall positive horoscope for this week. Wow.
It is.
And lastly, Pisces. You could lose money this week if you're a Pisces. Well, that went out the window. Conversely, you will be able to gain the favor of your coworkers. Along with participating in religious activities, you might find yourself drawn to spiritual endeavors. A calm home is what you can anticipate. And that is your horoscope for the week of November 11th through the 17th, full of highs and lows. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
What the hell is going on? Well, we're about to tell you.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live